Now knocks us back in the 40s and 50s next week, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Tom. Well, you can find items from Springhouse Gardens at this year's Bluegrass Trust Antiques and Garden Show. And Richard's brought in a few plants already blooming.
This is Richard.
Hey.
What you got there going?
Hey, I brought some golden-themed plants. We've got two really very popular forsythias. They were named after a guy named Forsyth, but most people in the States call it forsythia instead of forsythia. But this is a really cool dwarf one that fits in today's smaller yards. This one is called Show Off.
Okay.
Really like the clean flowers on this. It's going to stay probably about 3 to 5 feet tall, whereas the one there by Yulee, that's called Magical Gold. That's the full-size forsythia that's going to get 6, 8, maybe even 10 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And they typically will bloom starting in March. These are a little bit early. We got these in early so we'd have things in full bloom for the show.
Sure.
But a couple of other things besides forsythia.
Well, how long will this last, though?
Out in the garden, as long as Tom doesn't send us any frosts and freezes, once they get going, they'll last for 3 weeks usually.
So kind of like a life cycle of a tulip.
Yeah, kind of. But these come back year after year after
Early
year.
and then,
One of the cool things that you can do with these is if you have the bare branches with the buds getting ready to pop, you can cut those, put them in a vase, and they'll bloom inside.
Oh,
That's
really?
called forcing. You could force your forsythia.
No.
But I also wanted to bring two different kinds of dogwoods. Everybody loves the pink and white and red dogwoods with the big flowers.
Yeah.
This is a very early blooming dogwood that doesn't have the big showy outer petals like your typical dogwood. This one is called Cornus moss, which is, Cornus is the Latin name for dogwood. Moss is M-A-S. Just means cornelian cherry dogwood is how it translates into English. But this is the flower. It's just a small tree, very drought tolerant. I know it's not quite as showy, but it's blooming right now out in the landscape.
I mean, it looks like something's wrong with it,
blooming.
Richard, to be honest with you.
Well, it's just a subtle kind of beauty.
So you don't get leaves.
You don't. Well, you get leaves on it later.
Eventually it gets leaves.
Yes.
Okay.
This is what the flowers are actually doing outside right now.
Yeah.
So this is a really tough plant, but it doesn't get the big flowers like a regular dogwood.
That's all right.
So it's a good hardy small tree if you're looking for something. This one's called Golden Glory Cornus moss. And then this is an unusual, everybody loves these red twig dogwoods, but this is one that has golden leaves. When the leaves come out, they'll be bright yellow. And the leaves stay golden through the summer and into the fall. And then when the leaves fall off, you've got these really cool red stems. This one's called Prairie Fire red twig dogwood.
Adds a little color even when it doesn't have any foliage.
These get about 6 to 8 feet tall, so it's a bushy shrub, and they are going to get a little flower on it. But again, this dogwood flower is going to look a little bit more like this. Not real showy, but it's a good hardy landscape shrub if you're looking for a little gold in your landscape.
All of these do well in this climate?
They all do great in Kentucky.
Talking about that, the Bluegrass Antique and Trust
that
Garden
starts
Show?
next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I hear that you're going to be there Friday, and you're going to be there Friday as well. So hopefully I'll see you there. We're going to have a big garden display with all kinds of blooming tulips and daffodils and hyacinths.
And we can purchase?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'd like
it's
to
going
see
to be fun.
a blooming onion. See if you can make that happen. Hey, for more information, call Springhouse Gardens 859-224-1417 or log on to springhousegardens.com, and you can also find them on Facebook.
Richard, always good to see you.
Good to see you. See you next week at the show.
Indeed. Want to take a break?
Yeah, more LEX 18 News at 12:30 next.